was the first year like? Was it like a quick one, or you had to go through the shiggy that startup people will go through initially?
Okay, so to be brutally honest, it was really, really tough. A lot of people that don't know me closely, they said, Akin, you are lucky. You left the bank. I'm sure you left with 10, 15 million. You set up a nice office. You had staff and you were paying them. You had almost a year's salary. Absolutely not. Left banking. I knew what I wanted to do, and I wanted to enter the real estate profession properly and professionally. Entrepreneurship is about risk. I can go and delve, go and also try it. And I've seen a lot of leaders and a lot of mentors across the years have also made it. So I said, okay, let me also try my hands on it. So I started off in a virtual office. And in fact, it was so tough that in fact, the virtual office was so designed in such a way that for the full day you pay 10,000, for half day you pay 5,000. I could only afford to pay 5,000 for most of the days.
Hello there. Welcome to another episode of the African Business Show, powered by Business 360 TV. Here, what we do is to bring you entrepreneurs across Africa, and what we try to do is to showcase opportunities and doings within different sector. And today, we're very delighted. We've caught a big one, as usual. And in due time, I'll make an introduction. But first, guys, I'm sure that you like what you're seeing and you've been learning. If you've been following this channel, we've always come correct. So what I want you to do for us in return is to actually subscribe to this YouTube channel, particularly if you are watching prior to this and you've not subscribed. And also follow us across our social media platform displayed on the screen so that when we drop new content, you'll be the first to see it. And also, you can also connect with us on our different news publication. You can go to thisisbusiness360.com to get daily information about news, entrepreneurs, opportunities, and several other important information within Africa. Then you can also check out africantechbusiness.com if you're a techpreneur. So that's it. And I'm hoping that we'll get to 5K this week on our subscription on YouTube. So let's get into it. Thanks for coming through. Today, we're delighted to have Mr. Akin Opatola, the managing partner at Akin Opatola Consulting, a real estate genius, and it's a great delight to meet you and to be here. Thank you for coming through.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's been a while coming, but I said today I'll definitely make it here to the studio.
Thank you so much. Because Lagos can be crazy, traffic, commitment, and all of that, but we really appreciate you coming. So let's just take it from there. You can, while you do it, is basically to just tell us about yourself in a nutshell, particularly your course of study in the uni and how you've morphed and what your life has been since then, because it gives us a good background and an idea of who you are and what you've done, and to provide proper context for subsequent questions. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm Akin Opatola. I'm an estate surveyor and property valuer. I also like to refer myself as a real estate professional. So I studied estate management in school, FUT, Mina. Came to Lagos. My parents were based in Abuja, but came to Lagos to come and strive and hustle. So started my career, luckily for me, in a professional real estate services firm. Then I spent about 2.5 years there, and now delved into financial services.
Wow.
So I spent about 13 years, in two banks. In Lagos. Then I wasn't too fulfilled. I had a passion for real estate. That's what I read in school. And the 2 years that I did in the real estate firm, I liked it, but I knew it couldn't pay the bills. They were not paying people much younger estate surveyors very well. So I needed to pivot. So I did that. So I was doing very well, successful, getting my promotions in banking, but I wasn't happy. So I started doing my professional courses, certifications. So when I did get some of them, I just resigned and came back to real estate. I was opportune to work for one of my mentors, then Mr. Akin Opatola. So I did another close to 4 years with him, learned the ropes, because then all I knew was financial services, was Naira and Kobo.
Yeah.
So I did about 4 years with him, learned everything, he taught me everything that I knew. And I now set up my own real estate practice thereafter.
Makes sense. So when did you start the real estate practice and how was the start?
Good question. So, you see, immediately I joined my boss and mentor then, Mr. Akin Opatola. I knew that, maybe entrepreneurship should be for you. It was a tough call because I never saw myself as a business person. I didn't mind just being in real estate, but having a boss and just working diligently under a leader. I never saw myself as a leader. But I was following his footprints and I was like, okay, you can also do this. So I used that 4-year period as tutelage. I learned every single thing. So within the last 2 years of me working with him, I said, okay, I can begin to make those baby steps. So I started to do all my qualifications, get my seal, started attending training courses, so I even opened up to him and said, sir, look, how do you recruit staff? How do you get loyal staff? How do you promote? How do you increase salaries? So, and he was fantastic. He held me almost like a son. And he was also guiding me. So when he was having appraisal exercises, when he was having interview sessions, he would bring me in. Okay, this is how I review CVs. I can always look through the background. Forget who comes out with a first class, forget who comes out with a 2-1. The background is more important. I can look for the company's core values and try and match it with the individual's core values. So I learned all those things even when I was much younger. Those are the things that I put as foundation when I was starting my own real estate.
Okay, so how was the first year like? Was it like a quick one, or do you have to go through the shiggy that startup people will go through initially?
Okay, so to be brutally honest, it was really, really tough. A lot of people that don't know me closely, they said, Akin, you are lucky. You left the bank. I'm sure you left with 10, 15 million. You set up a nice office. You had staff and you were paying them. You had almost a year's salary. Absolutely not. Left banking. I knew what I wanted to do and I wanted to enter the real estate profession properly and professionally. So I left banking, but I said, no, I needed to still learn. So I joined him close to 4 years. So when I was leaving him, I said, wait a minute, okay, you're almost starting with zero. The few sums of money that I thought I had saved, of course, within 4 years, I'd exhausted it. But I knew that I was saturated with him. I'd learned enough. I said, look, I can, entrepreneurship is about risk. I can go and also try it. And I've seen a lot of leaders and a lot of mentors across the years have also made it. So I said, okay, let me also try my hands on it. So I started off in a virtual office. And in fact, it was so tough that in fact, the virtual office was so designed in such a way that for the full day you pay 10,000, for half day you pay 5,000. I could only afford to pay 5,000 for most of the days. So I'll go and scout, look out for properties, beg my old colleagues that were in banking, beg my bosses that, hey, I'm starting off on my own. I'm no more in financial services. Hey, bank on me. If you have any friends, relatives, if you have any clients, please push to me. I'm in real estate now. So I would do all that in the mornings, maybe even at home. Then scout for properties. Then I'll join the co-working space maybe at about 12 and work for the second part. Some days I won't even have that 5,000 to do half day. So I'll go to any of those.
This was
eateries.
when now?
This was about maybe 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes, about 12 years ago. So it was really tough for me. I did my first transaction, made a hefty sum, maybe about 300, 400,000. And I said, okay, maybe I should begin to collaborate with one or two colleagues that are just starting off too and get a shared space, which was what I did. I also thought to myself that businesses started to come in properties, transactions, because I was very dogged. I was getting one or two. I also wanted to hire people. So I went to a friend of mine who was a lecturer in University of Lagos at the time. And I said, look, please refer me to one or two students that have just passed out. So I was very deliberate. I didn't have the money to pay them.
Yeah.
But I said, look, let me sell hope to them. Had a conversation with them. Said, look, I know where I'm going. We might be starting rough. Literally no office, no furniture. But with me, I know I'm going places. This is my antecedents. And follow me on this journey. So I took two of them. Tolu and Gabriel, and we started off that way. Some months I wouldn't have made anything to pay them. So what I would do is I would speak to a few of my friends that were still in banking. So when I call them at the tail end of the month, hey, Akin, you've come again. I'm sure you want to borrow money for salary. I'll say yes. So they'll borrow me. I'll keep some for myself, and I also use it to pay their salaries.
That's very good, and that speaks to one of the things I begin to realize in Nigeria, and I had that conversation even prior to this coming to the studio, is the fact that community will save you if you are very strategic.
Correct.
I think that will be the main learning in this part of what we learned today, because there are some highlights that we try to push forward.
Nice.
Subsequently previously in some of the shows, we realized that executive education has its own return on investment and is a good tool for a lead gen. So to look like maybe you are spending so much, but if you're clever, you can make immediate return.
Fantastic.
On that. Travel too is a form of investment. Now, I think one of the main highlights, maybe we'll still get to some other in the course of this, will be that community will save you. So that's why relationship building, having that cluster of commitments that, because when you have a system that is not totally responsible, and I'm saying that with every sense of consciousness, by that I mean our financial system. In other climes, things like this, you should be able to get maybe an overdraft from the bank,
a soft loan,
and all of that. But in Africa, it's peculiar. At the end of the day, it's people that you have. Thank God that we have reasonable people. Some of these things you can't try it in the US, the UK. People will just look at you like, what are you saying? Where do you want me to get it from? But it's good that we can always leverage on each other, and it comes in cycle.
You're very correct.
So I think that people need to begin to take their partnership, friendship, collaboration, and community building very seriously in different forms. It could be sectorial, it could be tribal, whatever format works. I think those are part of things that will save you in the days where maybe there's a bit of scarcity and you just need some form of leverage, because the banks are not really there as they're supposed to be. So let's go into specific in terms of understanding your industry, because one of the things we'll try to highlight here is for people to understand different sector, and we'll have different people from logistics to travel to marketing and all sort come in. So there are two sides from what I know that you do. There's a real estate thing where everybody can come into. So we segment it that way. Then there's the professional side that you can't do except you are certified.
Correct.
The valuation.
Yes.
So what do you, how do you do that? Are you into valuation? Because I know one of my mentors, they claim to control 40% of the valuation market in Nigeria. And that's what they've really focused on, if you should know them, So, but do you do the real estate, which is the brokerage part mostly within your firm, or do you do surveying on one end or valuation? Because at times some people are more inclined to one than the other. How does your present business, how is it structured?
Awesome. So my current business at Akin Olawale Jordan Company. So I run two firms. Yes.
Yeah.
I run Olawale Jordan Company.
Okay.
That is fully real estate brokerage.
Okay. Yes. I now get it.
We buy for clients, we sell, and we help also lease.
Makes sense.
For clients. Then I also have the professional services and consulting.
Yes.
That's Akin Opatola Consulting.
Yes.
So that is a fully fledged professional real estate services firm.
Yes.
We do property and asset valuations.
Makes sense.
Yes, we also do advisory and, of course, consultancy. So, in terms of our business model, we typically do maybe have like a 50-50 balance. Sometimes, depending on the way the economy is, if the economy is soft and a bit dull, most banks would not give out enough facilities. They will be giving out enough mortgages.
Yeah.
So what that means is that will reduce the number of briefs we get for valuations.
Okay.
So we have to now increase the tempo of brokerage services so that we can make ends meet.
Yes.
So, but across board. And sometimes when the economy is also booming, like now, we tend to do a lot of banks reach out to us, private individuals. We do more valuations.
Okay, makes sense. Because that's what I want to like understand how you're playing within the sector so that people can also know. So let's deep dive a bit to valuation and the professional service. Okay. So how will you describe that market in Nigeria at the moment? Do you think it's a growing market or a declining market? And what opportunity currently exists within that space? So that is for maybe new guys that have worked a bit in estate management company and they're looking to try their hands on entrepreneurship. So by default, the question will be two, right? Number one, what's the current state of affairs? Number two, the opportunities within the sector.
Good one. Very good question. So the opportunities are immense. And this is me speaking frankly. And I say that because, for estate surveying and valuation, that is the juicy but technical part of our profession. It is juicy because nobody else can do it. So we tend to have competitive advantage there. Anybody, like you said, is an all-comer affair.
Yes.
My hair, barber, even though I keep an afro, I hear him when he's cutting my hair, says, hey, Akin, I know of a 2-bedroom for sale somewhere, blah, 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 blah. So everybody is kind of in the brokerage agency space. But for that valuation, oh my God, it is an expert skill. You must be well trained and specialized. So it's for the few, and we're not too many. So opportunities will come your way, especially if you're well positioned and you do the networking, you collaborate very well. And you see, every form, people use properties as collateral. That is what banks love to take. So if you set your mind back and you look at the vast array of properties that we have, from those ones that are in highbrow neighborhoods, in Eko Atlantic, in Banana Island, in Ikoyi, people are doing valuations. Banks will, if they use it as collateral, banks will need to know the worth of those, and they will come to estate surveyors. So I hear you when you say, yes, some of the bigger doyens of the profession, well established. They don't want to put all their eggs in one basket, and they want a credible report. So they will stick to those grandfathers of the profession. So they will be the ones to do those huge, high-rise, vertical, luxury, commercial, residential valuations. Those ones run up to 80 to 100 billion. Naira, So imagine taking a percentage of that. The opportunities are there. On the other hand, this is me speaking to those much younger in the profession, that you see, you must also pay your dues. I've not gotten there yet. It takes baby steps. You must learn from those ones that are more senior. You must travel. I listened attentively when you were speaking, so that you can benchmark yourself, not just with professionals here, but with professional colleagues, even outside the country, so that your report is rich, comprehensive. These banks, most of the time,
competitive.
They have a lot of our colleagues, also estate surveyors, behind the scenes, even in the risk management department, and they benchmark. So when they see a nice report, even though you're much younger, they can tend to give you more briefs. So the opportunities are there, and it's amazing even at this time of the economy.
That makes sense. So that will lead me, of course, to the second part, which is the all-comer part of real estate. Because I have the privilege of playing in that space as an investor, as a land banker of some sort, and more recently development. So how will you explain the market from, let's say, not the investment standpoint now? Let's first talk about the player standpoint, brokerage, facility management, supply, the supply chain, and everything within the value chain. Do you think is a market that's growing also at this moment in Nigeria? So, for example, for me, about 4 years ago, and I made about 3 or 4 false starts into short length. Why? Because each time I wanted to go in, I knew that this market was up for saturation. And that saturation has finally happened in December.
Wow.
People were whacked, and even one of the major guys playing within that subsegment, short-let homes of KG Giwa, was lamenting the other day how that is going to shut down.
Wow.
The short-let, because of course there's that oversupply and the prices were not reasonable. So the business case for short-let would not even make sense, even for the off-takers, the clients, because I would rather now go to an hotel than go to one funny short-let, then you're charging times 2, then you're still saying there will be no 24 hours power. It's just a whole mess. So in terms of the market, and there was a time, and I don't know if that has changed. It's been a while I've read report, but I know that to the best of my ability, knowledge, the commercial segment, because again there are about 12 verticals in real estate development. There's the commercial, there's the industrial, residential, there's the, you can call it maybe agric, even hospitality. Correct. Is real
Retail.
Estate.
That's true. Mixed use.
There's mixed use. There's I've spoken about industrial. There is the farm part.
Correct.
There's hospital is also regarded as real estate because it's measured in beddings. Correct. So if you say 5,000 beddings, so because beds. So I just hope that, I pray that I rather want to occupy a bed in an hotel in my house than an hospital, and be paying, because again, you are paying for the bed space, which is real estate. Sure. So how will you describe the industry from different verticals? Can I highlight some verticals? Where are we currently in terms of state of affairs of the real estate industry, and what opportunity exists within that real estate space? I haven't left that professional side of things now to real estate.
Great question. So let me answer it this way. I think the economy is booming. I think 2025 was an amazing year for the economy generally. There's this popular saying that real estate mirrors the economy. The economy is booming, tendencies that real estate will also boom likewise. And you see it all across the world. That's one. 2, we saw Q3, Q4 GDP figures for Nigeria. 3.8, 3.9. IMF, World Bank, even the CBN is projecting that this year we're looking at maybe a 4.2, 4.3. So things are looking up. We've seen huge forecast and focus also on infrastructural development. We've seen the proposed 4th Mainland Bridge, which will also be a game changer once the thing kicks off, maybe next year or in the next 2 years. We've seen the Lagos Coastal, Calabar Coastal Road, done the phase 1. We've seen property values increase dramatically across that axis in Lagos, not to talk of the other 6 states that it will traverse. We've seen the blue and red rail that Lagos is doing a fantastic job. Now there are conversations that will start, I think it's Q2, as early as April, for the green rail, which will be from Marina to Lekki phase 1 all the way to the Ekpe axis. These things are game changers. This is what countries like China did to transform their economy, their country a few years ago. So I'm happy that we are replicating the same. So there's no gainsaying that things are looking up. As regards brokerage, I agree that it's an all-comer affair. It is a good thing and also a bad thing. Everybody is playing at the different levels. People are making their money. It is like a pyramid. And that's why I see that I'm extremely optimistic. Naturally, I'm an optimistic person. But you see, there's some caveats. Are you playing it professionally? Do you understand the fundamentals? Yes, some people got their fingers burnt from the hype of the dirty December. Are you well priced? What are the services? You see, customers will always look at the customer journey and the experience. Are you giving a lot of value? Those things are critical. You put those things in place, most likely you would smile to the bank. You see, we have a huge information and data. I always like to play with data. When I hear Nigerians, a lot of my colleagues jackpine, we give better opportunities outside. You see the likes of the Europeans, the Lebanese, the Chinese looking at this same data and say, wow, Lagos, 22 million. All I need is a fraction of this. Whatever I am doing, all I need is a fraction. They are flying into the country on a daily basis. If you look at these airlines, back to the data, they are coming into the country with their airplanes filled up. On the back of that, we have a 4 million housing shortage in Lagos. Nigeria, 22 million. This data stands. We've seen the World Bank, we've seen international housing reports share this data. All you need to do is to x-ray some of this information and say, look, how can I play? What that means is that you and I, if we develop, for instance, 15,000 homes, which the average state government has not been able to achieve in a year, people will buy. Because we have housing shortage in Lagos of 4 million. People need these homes, irrespective of the pyramid, whether you're doing in the luxury segment, mid-market, or in the affordable. We've seen the laudable design and policy from the federal government with their affordable housing. They are begging states to give land, enabling environment, so that they can build 500,000 homes across every state in the federation. Whether you're helping clients to do advisory. I have some friends that all they do is advise clients. So I buy this in this neighborhood. I think this neighborhood is on the way up, and they're getting paid for it. Or you're a local agent, you're not well polished, but you're also giving the correct advice and guidance, and you're also collecting your fees across. So for every part of the ecosystem, as long as you're adding value, I think there are huge opportunities and people are making money.
Wow, that's good to know. So let's speak to you. You lead an association in Nigeria. So
Yes,
would you like to speak about that and what you guys do, so that you can also use the opportunity maybe to enlighten some of your industry professionals on how to plug into this?
Thank you very much. So the association that I lead is called FIAPSI. FIAPSI is an acronym for International Real Estate Federation. I'm opportune to be the chapter president. Handover in July this year, is a 2-year term. FIAPSI has been in Nigeria for about 53 years, but internationally 75 years. FIAPSI headquarters is in France. What we do is we share knowledge among ourselves. In Nigeria, we have membership base of about 180. So there's a lot of knowledge share. When I joined about 9 years ago, and that is probably one of the best decisions that I've made, because as a younger estate surveyor, I thought it wise to join, like you mentioned, association, to collaborate and partner with each other. Most of the people in my association, like I said, it's over 50 years, were my seniors. There is no way that these seniors will even pick my call. So when I joined the association, I quickly took a leadership role. I was a treasurer for 4 years. So when I speak to them, I call them about their dues, they will pick up. We started to do business together. So this is me putting strategy even in my business model. And it has been super amazing. A lot of the people here, we do business because FIAPSI is unique in its association. I belong to close to 30 different associations. Wow. But the one I really hold dear is FIAPSI because of the cross-pollination of ideas. We have estate surveyors, we have developers, we have finance people, we have bankers, we have interior decor, we have architects, developers. So we all do even business amongst ourselves. That is here locally. Internationally, almost the same, but it is fantastic because of the international best practice that they bring to it. We get to travel to different parts of the world. They bring thought leaders from around. They teach us, they train us. So when we FIAPC members come back home, we are almost slightly ahead of our peers. So we can do training, we can guide our team members and also a lot of our professional colleagues. And interestingly, last year we had the opportunity. So in over 50 years, FIAPC that has been in Nigeria, we've never had the opportunity to host the World Congress.
Oh.
Yeah, so last year we had an amazing World Congress. A whole week, we brought in close to 200 of our international colleagues.
Wow.
It was absolutely fantastic. They played golf, 2 days of plenary. Oba of Lagos hosted us. Oba Oniru too hosted us. It was fantastic. We had the plenary session. We had tours of key projects in Lagos, Eco Atlantic, and it was different. A lot of our professionals had the opportunity to work with alongside these professionals to also see and benchmark what is happening in their in their countries. About, I think, out of those colleagues that came, were represented in about 22 or 25 countries. The governor of Lagos State too played an amazing role. Yes, the commission, we had about three ministers. Minister of Defense represented the president. The president couldn't make it, but it was fantastic. So that's what we've been able to do.
So how do people join? How can people join? And what are the criteria?
Awesome. So, like I mentioned, we've been around for slightly above 50 years, but our membership base is still quite small. We're less than 200, but you see, it is rightfully and deliberately so. We're usually careful with the type of professionals that we bring in. We have a rigorous screening process. There's a membership fee, which we also share. Then we also do interviews. Then you must bring at least 2 guarantors. But we want people to come in. We don't want to walk in silos. Yes, so our arms are open to bring in the right sets of professionals to come and join us so we can build this association together.
That makes sense. So let's chime back into our business to say, so what are the 3 topmost challenges you've had to go through? Say now it's 12 years or more now since you started business full time.
That's correct.
Yeah. So what are the most challenging episodes that you've had, and how were you able to navigate it? So you can also pontificate that by being specific. Finance, this and that, and this is how we did it.
Okay, good. One of it definitely readily comes to mind when I speak with friends, colleagues, is staffing. Man, it is absolutely difficult getting.
I'll be surprised if it doesn't come in the first 3.
Man.
It's crazy, man.
It's tough. So for me, I've been very deliberate in the professional service firm that I run. I prefer to run a very lean ship. So most of the time, for the better part of the 12 years, that's always been me and about maximum of 4 staff. Yes, I've been deliberate about that. But you see, even getting the right team members has been tough. So I do a lot of brokerage. Brokerage has to do with marketing, branding, self-promotions, social media marketing, and putting yourself and the company out there, getting briefs, and of course setting targets. I was in sales and marketing all through my years in banking, so of course I have a flair. I love to sell, so I love to train that. I also train sales and marketing in a few real estate business school, and of course in 1 or 2 universities. So I always like staff that embrace that are not scared. I try to preach it, and of course I pay a handsome commission to staff that meet their targets. But you see, what I've noticed that everybody's scared of sales. They don't even want to hear the words.
So we're exactly the same. I love sales with all of my life. I love deals. I love transaction operations. It's frustrating to me. So I call myself, again, there's maybe another learning for the people that are watching. You must play to your strength as a CEO. I say so. There's the operational CEO. So you can look at it like a Jack Welch. There's the visionary one / business development CEO. That's who I am. And what you're describing means you're a biz dev CEO.
Correct.
There's the technical CEO that, let's say you are running a bakery, you will still rather lead the bakery. You just find the light. So it means that it's either you find a partner that can actually now be the executive. So, but you'll be the CTO. That's Chief Technical Officer. At times, some people are finance CEO, which means that they will be tilting towards the numbers, and that's their strength. But however, they need to get a biz dev person, like a director or a manager. So you must know where you play. You don't necessarily need to try and fit. I'm not a finance person, right? I'm not zero technicality. I try to avoid it. But I'm technical. But I've paid my dues as a technical person 18, 17, 15 years ago. I would rather play to my strength, which is sales and business development, deal, transaction, and allow other people to flourish, like operations. So you can get a CEO. You can, if you are if you're operational in nature, then you can be an operational hands-on CEO, but you need to get a biz dev, you need to field finance, need to get a technical person. Maybe you have a manufacturing or from the service delivery or service fulfillment standpoint. So it's important for people to also know that. Yeah, so for me, the issue around, talent and human resource, it's always a challenge. In fact, about 2 months ago, I was deeply worried, more than usual, to say that, do you know that the overall productivity of this country could drastically increase if individual productivity gets lifted? Net, even if you look at comparison within African country, you see that disparity. In fact, there were Tech About It, a stat lately showing what transport is in Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria. You always see that it's always low, like the cost, which is an advantage, right, in terms of expense.
Correct.
But in terms of inputs like productivity, it is not. So if you look at it in terms of expense, so for example, in Nigeria, I barb average of like 3-5K local barber. In Nairobi, I barb, if you convert, around 10-12K. Whoa. In South Africa, I barbed, where you convert what I paid, 35,000 naira. Damn. You get what I mean? So you see, so that's why in those climb. In fact, in South Africa, for example, don't pray that any of the thing in the house breaks. You are in trouble. There's a time my friend put the key inside. Then we called the key lock people and they were asking for 2,000 plus rand. So if you convert that to Nigeria, that's over 200,000-300,000. Where if you call a carpenter here. So you see the in terms of, so there are different use cases, and you see a situation where we're bringing tilers from Ghana, Cotonou, because the dexterity is not there. You know that you can command a premium. In terms of AC, it's almost like one is jinxed to find a proper AC repair person.
Very true.
Do you get what I mean? So, but it's individual productivity. People have refused to build their capacity, either as a technical person or as a cerebral person. If we'll net, it will contribute, right, to growth, overall productivity in the nation. So people are complaining of low wage, low whatever. The whole idea is that productivity will always be rewarded on an individual basis. So rather than lamenting, some of us years back, we were probably collecting 100K, 200K somewhere. And we've been able to grow our productivity where we're earning millions per month. People don't know that that's the same pathway. And people even jackpot provide an unusual opportunity for people to quickly climb. You get what I mean? So I don't really understand what's happening with Nigerians in terms of building capacity. But it's something that is worrisome.
It is really worrisome. I agree with you.
So what other challenges have you experienced that is so significant in running a business?
Yeah, so another one is, which is just a personal fear of mine, is staying at the cutting edge. Real estate is evolving every day. I always hear conversations around the future of real estate, especially me running my firm, having talents that have to look to me. Then also the association that I run as a president. What is those cutting edge technology that is trending. Akin, do you know about it? Do you understand it? Can you carry your team members along? What of your members of your association? I'm called to speak or give comments or commentary on different in blue economy, AI, how is AI shaping your industry? Sustainability, ESG. So another fear of mine is, which is a challenge even for my business model, is how can you always be abreast of this information and these trends? And the last one for me has to be business development. It's scary. It's scary. And you see, I cannot even give a number. I don't know how many estate surveying firms we have in Lagos, not to talk of in Nigeria. The jobs are not too many. We churn out professionals every day that graduate. They get their seal. They're also registering their firms. We have a huge influx of foreign firms that are competing for the same relatively small business that we see today. So it's tough. And I say, look, the real competition is not even you and I, my colleagues, it's those foreign firms. 20, 30 of the global real estate firms, they're in our market
in Nigeria,
today. So if I'm not professional, if I'm not at the cutting edge of information and technology, I will easily lose out, because clients don't care. Our clients are very sophisticated now. They have information, they have AI, they have Claude, they have ChatGPT to give them information. They are benchmarking what I'm saying with what those global firms that are in our market are saying. So how do you get business? So, and I'm happy that the way I've positioned myself also with the association that I run, I know how to do top-notch proposals that will match those ones that those firms are, so that I don't lose too much business, so that I can remain competitive and be able to, of course, pay the bills, my staff bills and also my bills.
That makes sense. So as we begin to wrap up, so what is your general outlook on the economy for this year? We're about to wrap it up Q1. There's some other variable that came in this week, which is the US-Israel Iran war. That is changing the dynamics. I was in the CEO's forum yesterday, retail business, and they were talking about how that is impacting, drastically. Imagine that diesel was 1K, that you are trying to move product across the country, then your drivers are getting to the pump point and they're seeing 1.5. So your cost has gone by 35% overnight. It's quite challenging. And all that was being asked is, so how do you navigate all of these volatile, uncertain, super ambiguous situation we find ourselves where even local, international, the international events, just for me as a business, you can't believe. And, it's difficult at times to explain to people how some of these things, impacts. So it's not only from the pump price standpoint. There are one or two things that probably moved in my favor, for example, as a result of the war, even though I'm not selling ammunition. But by default, it means that for some people, it's total disaster. Like, imagine you are in the Middle East at this point doing business, where everything is literally on shutdown. Imagine you needed to travel, at this time, and you are projecting that meeting maybe the prospect or the partner will lead to immediate sign off on things. Now, maybe you have loan that you projected you can pay. Things can be pretty funny. But generally, what do you think, at least from the local standpoint, is also a pre-election year? What's your general outlook on the economy? And you can, deep dive a bit more into how it impacts on real estate into the rest of the year.
Brilliant. You see, I typically like to study the budget because the way the economy runs, also, we in the real estate industry, we are not immune. So I'm also hoping and praying. I've seen this spike with the Israeli, Iran, and US war. It's changed a lot of dynamics. I agree with you. I've seen a lot of my colleagues that play in the retail space, facility managers, diesel is a major one. A lot of them have to reposition and retool their business model. That's one. Two is President Obama and a lot of these world leaders. We know that they used to use their own word, global village. When the global village, we saw the disruption that COVID brought. A small virus in China, distributed around the entire world. The war, Russia, Ukraine, affected bread prices in Agege. So we are fully aware. I'm aware. So there's a buzzword that we use in real estate: resilient cities. The governor of Lagos State is trying to position Lagos State as a very smart and resilient city. I like to hone that to me as a real estate professional. Are you a resilient professional? Are you a smart professional?
Makes sense.
You touched on the very word VUCA, when the VUCA economy. But you see, for myself, everything happening here is happening everywhere around the world. And it has happened previously. So that is why I like my association, FIAPC, because I will see that this thing has happened 10, 15 years ago in somebody in India, in Australia, in Canada. How did they position themselves? Exchange
information
notes.
and best practices.
I always tell a lot of my friends and mentees that, look, try to read a lot of books. Try to go online. Now you have absolutely no excuse. I'm happy for this platform that you're putting across. You're doing an amazing job. Listen to a few of the previous episodes. People can reach it from across the world. I'll be sharing it with a few of my networks. I am extremely optimistic about the economy this year. But let me put a proviso. So being a pre-election year, from my experience, my short experience, there's usually a divide politically. We know that the major spenders is government. Private sector are lagging behind. So there will be a cut short. So usually maybe around June, July. If you've not done good business, by then it becomes a little bit tougher. It's like you're climbing uphill. Then things begin to slow down. A lot of the politicians that are backing another politician, then it's campaign season, even though elections is 2020, it will be 2027. So, in fact, a lot of these foreigners also already know. So a lot of people are doing. So you can see that the year, according to me, has started off quite aggressively. Things are moving a whole lot faster. Some days ago, we're saying Happy New Year. Now we're getting ready for the end of Q1. Things are moving a lot faster. And I'm happy with the way the federal government has also positioned themselves, the budget against 58.18 billion or trillion. They are trying to drive a $1 trillion economy. And they're putting a lot of things in place. The CBN governor is also trying to recapitalize the banks, which the deadline will end 31st of this month. We need stronger banks. If Dangote is going to raise funds, if the likes of them, MTN, in these major industries are going to banks, they will need some form of capital raise, bringing in foreign banks. Why can't our banks be much stronger so that they can grow the economy? So I like the policy direction of government. And I see that, hey, Akin, if you position your firm or your industry well enough, a lot of these things will trickle down. We cannot have strong, well-capitalized banks. Then they would also want to fund to the real economy, which will begin to, and they will look for real estate professionals for advice, for guidance, for consultancy, and of course for asset valuation. So I think I'm optimistic, and I think it will be amazing.
That's great to know. So on the aggregate, we'll see a more positive run in the year. That's what it is. And so that's it. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And we hope that we can have this subsequently in a not too distant future. Thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you. This has been a great episode. I've learned so much on this episode with Mr. Opatola. So please, guys, don't hoard this information. Try and share some of this content with your network. Follow us across our social media platform and check out some of our news publication website. Very soon, we're bringing more things to your doorstep. There are events that will be coming out from B360 across different part of the group. Stay tuned. More information will be passed across as we get green light on some of these things. So till I see you on another episode, keep winning. Take care, guys. Bye.